Hi, this is James Headley with the Living in Naples channel. Thanks so much for tuning into today's episode. It's a companion piece to a recent video that I posted talking about what the recent shift in market conditions means for buyers. Today I want to dive in and flip that script a little bit and look at what the recent shift means for sellers. As always, I appreciate you tuning in, liking videos, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with your friends. Thank you so much. Recently went over a couple of hundred subscribers, so thank you very much for that, and appreciate you getting the word out there to even more folks. With that, let me dive right in. To say that there are a lot of numbers out there that are saying that the market has shifted to a greater balance between buyers and sellers, even if it hasn't returned to normal inventory levels. I'm not going to rehash all the numbers I shared in recent videos looking at the market changing dynamics, but suffice it to say that we're seeing homes staying on the market longer, price reductions occurring with a lot of regularity, while contracted prices on recent homes that went to contract indicate a decline in upcoming dollar per square foot metrics, among other numbers. So what's that all mean for you as a prospective seller out there? There are 5 big takeaways that I see for sellers. Number 1, the where will I go if I sell question now has a lot more answers than it did even a month or so ago. There are more properties out there for you to consider, whether you're upsizing, downsizing, considering shifting geographies, whatever the case may be, and the rationale for you thinking about selling, you definitely have more options today. Number 2, it's really paramount in this kind of market to look at the right comps when thinking about where to price your home, and by extension, what you might count on putting in your pocket when you eventually sell. During the run-up in prices in 2021 into this year, comps had very little value. The market was going up so much and so quickly as buyers dramatically outnumbered sellers that comps were almost irrelevant. If a somewhat similar house in the same community sold for $750,000, the next seller on the block was likely to list for over $800,000 and get at least that much, which of course led to the next seller pricing closer to $900,000. Those days are behind us for now at least, so it is important to be realistic in your pricing and your expectations of what you might net. Brings us to number 3, and that's to be reasonable, not just with pricing, but with your timeline. Your house probably isn't going to sell the first couple of days it's on the market unless you dramatically underprice it. If you have hard or soft deadlines for being out of your current home, you should absolutely be thinking months between listing and closing, not weeks. Compounding this is the fact that buyers aren't waiving every contingency anymore to compete with multiple bidders. So the rush to have a really super fast closing, especially in cash transactions, has subsided a bit, and we're going to see like a lengthening of the average time between a contract and the actual closing table. That brings us to number 4. Number 4 is to make sure that your house is ready to market and that your listing agent can effectively market it. In my daily scouring of MLS for my clients, it almost became a humorous contest to try to find the worst listings during the run-up in pricing. It wasn't hard to find listings with 1 to 2 sentence descriptions, and that should be descriptions, amateurish listing photos that looked like they were taken with the agent's phone and likely were, homes that looked like they hadn't been cleaned and seemingly with the least lighting possible for photos, etc. It didn't matter. The buyers were there in much greater numbers than the sellers, and these homes were selling and selling quickly. Now, to give yourself the greatest chance of selling your home in this new dynamic for the best price possible, it's really key to make it look as much as possible like a model home as you can, and be sure that your agent is prepared to professionally present it, including starting with the basics like hiring a professional photographer, videographer to take those photos and videos of your home. And that brings us finally to number 5. Forget what happened 6 months ago. You didn't list your home then for good reasons, hopefully, and you are not selling in that environment now, so don't even think about that water that's under the bridge. Focus on maximizing the potential in a sale in today's environment, and if you are also going to be buying, focus on the fact that you don't have to buy in that frenzy now. So it's a nice trade-off for you in that respect. This world looks a lot more like the usual one where the adage that the first offer might be the best offer could be ringing true a lot more in the days going ahead. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I'm happy to help and discuss the value of your home and look at some of those realistic comps and timelines, etc. with you at your convenience. So please do reach out anytime. And again, I appreciate you tuning in, liking, subscribing, and sharing, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks so much.